Your meat mother made you a fire and is going to tell you a story.
Eat your meat, drink your water.
And I'm going to cook us a steak on this here fire. Ooh, this fire is so beautiful and I'm so hungry, and I just realized that because I'm not on Lion Diet anymore, and I bought myself eggs the other day. So I'm going to go and grab some eggs and make eggs somehow on this fire. Hey, let's see what we can do with these eggs. There's some oil in the bottom of this because I strained off the beef fat that I made the other day. Beef fat and farm eggs. Whoop, baby. Breaky poos. I am so happy. All right, we got eggs. These are the first eggs I've had in weeks. And I won't eat all the egg white because if I eat too much egg white, it makes my eyes itch. I don't know what that is. Do you have that with eggs, or can you eat the whole egg? But this yummy fatty egg yolk as a high-fat carnivore, gold. Story time. I came to this little town of Darling in South Africa. I came here to die, and the job was already 3/4 done by the time I got here. I was so frail. I was so skinny. I had lost most of my hair on my head. And as an aside, look, we don't have a lot right now either. And that's because all my hair started growing. Okay. I went undiagnosed for 28 years. I had my first episode when I was 23 years old, and I was diagnosed at the age of 51. Leave that egg white. Give it to the dogs. So by the time I came here, I was done. Okay? Finished. Should I get some coffee? No, you see, that's just habit. And anyway, look here. I'm going to go and fetch the steak just now because the fire's going to be ready to put a little steaky poo on. So I did the fire for my mental health. I did it the other morning, and now I've done it again this morning. But I realized the other day, and you can cook on it too, because I don't currently have my own kitchen, which is why I haven't been filming anything in the kitchen. That's another story. We'll get to that. I will have my own beautiful kitchen in 6-7 weeks time. Okay, right. When I came here, my life was over. Within a year of coming here, and that's why I always say Darling is magic, because there's just something about this place. Within a year of coming here, I had a diagnosis, and I had the diet that was to not only save my life in terms of save my life, but give me the energy and the springboard and the life force energy, I always call it, to reclaim my career. So, back in the day, I was famous in South Africa. I was famous. I was B-list, you know. In fact, generally I was invited because I was on the stage. So I was a cabaret artist, a stand-up comic, an MC. I was also the ring mistress for what was called Madame Zingara's Circus of Dreams. Circus of Dreams? Theatre, sorry, darling. Madame Zingara's Theatre of Dreams. And I was the ring mistress. I had like 11 costume changes, honey. It was a scene. I was the girl, I was the diva, I was the center of attention, and I was very, very good at it. I wrote for newspapers and magazines. I was on TV, I was on radio, hosting and being interviewed. Babe, I've been on magazine covers. I know it's not hard to believe. I've been on magazine covers, I've been written about in books. But what people didn't know was that very, very often when I wasn't in the spotlight, I was in bed. And that started, I had my first episode at the age of 23, and over decades, it got increasingly worse. The episodes just got longer and longer and longer, and the intervals in between got shorter and shorter and shorter. In my 20s, I went to doctors. In my 30s, I went to doctors. In my 40s, I kind of gave up asking because they'd all told me it's just stress and you need to learn to relax. By the age of 50, my life was over. My body was over. My career was over. I was done, and I had about maybe 5% of life force energy left in my body. When I got my diagnosis, they told me that I had to be on methotrexate. Now, I don't know if you're on methotrexate. I have no issue with Western medication. If I need it, I take it. I didn't take it for 3 years. I didn't take a single thing for the first 3 years of being a carnivore because I knew my body couldn't handle anything. Okay, so back. So they said, take methotrexate, which is basically, I call it chemo in a capsule. So I said, no thank you. It will snuff out whatever little remaining flicker of life force energy I had in me. And so I didn't take it. It took me 3 months. I tried the autoimmune paleo protocol first. I always knew it was diet. Oh, here comes somebody and I'm shy. I'll explain my living situation at some point. I've always known how important diet is. Always had issues with sugar, always had issues with wheat, and everything kind of compounded. As I say, the older I got, the iller I got. But the more I went to doctors and they told me there's nothing wrong with you, the more confused I got, and I literally just simply thought, I am a loser. I'm a loser. This is what it feels like to get old. I watched all my work colleagues, everyone I came up with, having stellar careers, still on stage, stand-up, radio. Everybody that I started off with carried on, except me. So, and I always had the connection between diet and energy, life force energy. So, when I got my diagnosis after 28 years of being ill, when I finally got a diagnosis, I immediately knew that I had to try diet. And I searched for 3 months. In that time, I found the autoimmune paleo protocol, the AIP diet, which did help. Oh, the diagnosis was autoimmune disease, in case you haven't seen any of my other videos. My testimonial is linked below. Autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and Sjogren's syndrome, and then a host of others that I still needed to be tested for and had no money at that point. I was done. I knew that I had to eat and I had to afford food. I did not have to afford medication. Well, I couldn't. So I knew that my food must be my medicine. Autoimmune paleo protocol did help for inflammation. Within days, I could feel how the inflammation was going down in my entire body. But the fatigue, the dizziness, the brain fog, all of those were actually getting worse. And then at that point, and I call her my meat mother, Lucretia, in the United States of America, and I'm here she'd immigrated to America and I was here in South Africa, on the phone, and she gently but firmly insisted that I try the diet that saved her life, and that was the carnivore diet. And that's how I found out about the carnivore diet, because even though her and I had been in communication, I knew she was on an all-meat diet. I don't know why it never clicked for me to try, but I guess that is called the gift of desperation. I was so desperate that I was willing to go from being primarily vegetarian my entire life, having spots where I was eating meat, more later in life, and by that stage it was too late. Even the carnivore diet did not work for me. It immediately started to give me improvements, but I had to go to lion diet. So I spent 3 months investigating and finding the autoimmune paleo protocol. Then I spent 3 months experimenting with the carnivore diet, and then I went to lion diet. Nose to tail, baby. Nose to tail. Liver, I tried kidney. I tried all the organs. Oh man, did I weep. I wept big, fat, solid, hot, wet, hippie tears. In the butcher, I would stand with my sunglasses on and cry behind my sunglasses in the butcher. But I did it. Red meat, fat, salt, water, and the dreaded coffee. Tried to give that up twice. I'll do an entire video about that and we'll get to it. And you see, I wanted coffee just now, but I didn't go, and I'm fine. Guess what? Okay. All right. And my fire's looking good enough now. I'm going to put a steak on the fire. Ooh, look at these beautiful coals, man. This is happening. Oh, smoky eyes. Gosh, look at these goodies. Look at this. Honey, look at all these marrow bones. Yeah. You talk. Hey, tell me I'm not your meat mother. Look at this. It's falling off the plate. He's so big. And there are the marrow bones. And I'm just waiting for the last flicker of flame to go down so that I can pop this bad boy on that bad boy. And I'm going to spread some of my home rendered fat on my steak. Let's get you all nice and lubed up, honey. Yikes. This is going to feed me for 2 days. It has to be the beef fat tallow, not the suet, because the suet tallow just won't spread. Going to get the marrow bones off now and already turn this because you don't want it overdone. Oh shit. No. Yeah, ain't burning my meat, honey. Shuck the marrow while I am waiting for that fire to go down. So there's the marrow, and those will go into the bone broth pot. There's one thing I hate, it's grey steak. So let's take this guy off. Woo! Perfect. So that was my dawn braai or barbecue. Fantastic. Right, so now I've got food basically for a day and a half at least. Okay, so I did the lion diet for 3 years. Experimented with carnivore for 3 months, then lion diet 3 years. Then 14 months, FAFO. F around and find out, and boy, did I. Since then, I've been alternating lion diet, carnivore diet with the odd FAFO with nuts or whole food or whatever. Never lasts very long. Always come back to carnivore diet and always using lion diet as a reset. So that's my story when it comes to the diet. It's not only about diet though. I'll tell this story in another video, but I have begun to piece back my life as a writer, a speaker, and a content creator here with you as your meat mother who loves you. If you are watching this and you are sick, I have so much empathy for you. I have so much sympathy for you. I have so much hope for you. I see you healed. I would never have seen myself healed. I thought I was gone, but that little flicker of life force energy wouldn't allow me to just down the drain hole, down the glug hole, because it reminded me of this poem from when I was about 11 years old that we learned in school. A mother was bathing a baby one night, the youngest of three, and a tiny young mite. The something, the baby, like your baby. My phone ran out of space. I am doing an interview this week again with Dave Mack of No Carb Life, and I'm going to link in the bottom as well the interview that I did with him last year, and he's asked me to come back for a second interview. So click that link and have a look, and you'll get even more of my story. I love you. I see you whole. I see you healed. I see you happy. I see you joyous. I see you refreshing your life the way I have. If you want to get hold of me, my contact details are below. Mwah.